Padre Pio, a man who, through his deep prayer life, became a living window into the unseen world of souls, angels, and the afterlife. Now, most of us have heard about the power of prayer, but have you ever wondered what happens to the souls of the dead when we pray for them? Do our prayers really reach them? And, if so, what do they receive when we pray? Padre Pio had the unique ability to see beyond the veil that separates our world from the spiritual realm. He witnessed firsthand what happens when we offer our prayers for the souls of the deceased. These aren't just words, they're lifelines. They carry weight, and they have the power to change everything for those who are in need of God's mercy. There's a well-known saying in the church that prayer is the key that unlocks the treasure chest of God's mercy. Padre Pio, however, experienced the effects of prayer in a way few could even fathom. One day, while praying the rosary in the solitude of his chapel, Padre Pio found himself deeply moved. But what happened next was something that stunned even him. His face changed, and his entire being became overwhelmed with emotion. He began to weep. It wasn't just any kind of weeping. It was as if he had been given a glimpse into the eternal and witnessed the suffering and the joy of the souls who were receiving the benefit of prayer. What he saw, what he felt, was not something that could be explained by human understanding. But Padre Pio knew that his prayers for the souls of the dead were not just empty words. They were real, they were powerful, and they were making a difference in the lives of those who had already passed on. In fact, Padre Pio often spoke about how he would see souls in need of prayer, many of whom were in purgatory, and when he prayed for them, something incredible happened. A soul that had been in torment, held in a place of purification, would suddenly feel a relief, a release of the burden of their suffering. Padre Pio believed that his prayers were not only for those who had passed, but also for those still living, as they were an intercession, a bridge between the two worlds. There's a touching story that illustrates this perfectly. One evening, after spending hours in prayer, Padre Pio had a vision of a soul in purgatory who appeared before him with gratitude. The soul had come to thank Padre Pio for one simple prayer he had offered years ago. A Hail Mary whispered quietly during a walk in the courtyard. Padre Pio, deep in his own prayer life, had no idea who this person was or even the impact his prayer had at the time. Yet, in God's perfect timing, that simple, unspoken prayer had moved the heart of God and brought healing to a suffering soul. This is the incredible power of intercessory prayer. It may seem small, it may even seem insignificant to us, but in the spiritual realm, where time and space don't work the same way, that prayer has the power to transcend both. Padre Pio once said, "A single Hail Mary, said with a pure heart, could change the entire course of a soul's journey." These words aren't just pious sentiments, they are a testament to the reality that prayer works in ways that we can't fully grasp. Our prayers for the dead are not just symbolic, they truly help the souls in purgatory experience the light of God's mercy. In another moving account, Padre Pio shared that he once saw how the souls of the dead were received by God. In a vision, he described a scene where the souls, after being purified, were being received into the light of heaven. But the most powerful part of this vision was when Padre Pio saw the role that our prayers played in this process. He saw that when we pray for someone, especially the souls of the dead, our prayers are like a bridge connecting the living with the dead, heaven with earth, and the mercy of God with the souls who are in need. It's through these prayers that God, in His infinite mercy, can bring about healing, forgiveness, and peace for those souls who may otherwise still be in their suffering. Now, let's think about that for a moment. We may not always realize it, but when we pray for someone who has passed on, we are actively participating in the work of salvation. We're partnering with God in His plan to bring every soul back to Himself, and in doing so, we are part of something much larger than we can see. This is a mystery that Padre Pio often meditated on, the power of prayer and its ability to cross the boundaries of time and space. For him, prayer was not just a way of communicating with God. It was a way of participating in the divine work of redemption. It was an act that not only changed the soul of the one who prayed, but also transformed the souls of those for whom the prayer was offered. And yet, in Padre Pio's life, this wasn't something he just spoke about. It was something he lived. Every day, through his constant prayers, he was lifting up the souls of the dead and offering them a chance at redemption. And he saw the fruits of this labor in the visions he experienced and the souls that came to him with gratitude. But why did this simple prayer, this Hail Mary, have such an impact? Why was it able to change the fate of a soul, moving them from the darkness of purgatory into the light of heaven? The answer lies in the purity of the prayer itself. When we offer a prayer like the Hail Mary, it is not just a repetition of words, it is a gift from our hearts to the Blessed Virgin Mary, a way of acknowledging her role as the Mother of Jesus and asking for her intercession on behalf of the souls in need. It is an act of surrender, an offering of our will to God's divine mercy. In this way, Padre Pio's life teaches us that our prayers are not just for our own benefit, they are for the benefit of others as well. Every time we offer a prayer for someone, whether they are living or dead, we are partaking in the work of salvation. We are lifting someone up to God, and that act of love and charity can make all the difference. As we reflect on the incredible example of Padre Pio, let us remember that every prayer we say, no matter how small, has the power to change the world both here and in the afterlife. Every Hail Mary, every whispered prayer, is like a drop of water in the ocean of God's mercy, and it has the potential to touch the heart of heaven. Now, think about the souls in your own life, those who have passed on. Have you ever thought about offering a prayer for them? Have you ever wondered what happens to those prayers? Padre Pio's life shows us that our prayers for the dead are not in vain. They have the power to reach across the boundaries of time and space and offer God's mercy to those who need it the most. If you have ever doubted the power of prayer, let Padre Pio's example be a reminder that prayer is never wasted. Whether for the living or the dead, your prayer has the power to change everything. So, let's not wait. Let's offer up our prayers, knowing that they are more powerful than we can imagine and that they can make all the difference in the world. As we dive deeper into the significance of Padre Pio's experiences, let's reflect on something truly profound: the unseen impact of our prayers on the souls of the departed. We live in a world that often emphasizes the physical, the tangible, and the immediate. We are conditioned to believe in what we can see, touch, and measure. But Padre Pio's life was a testament to the reality of a spiritual world that exists beyond our senses, a world where the power of a single prayer can transcend earthly boundaries and affect souls in eternity. It's easy for us to forget the value of a prayer said in passing, or the simple act of asking for help through a few words, like the Hail Mary. But in the spiritual realm, every prayer is heard. Padre Pio understood this intimately. His deep spiritual life was constantly centered around the souls of others, and he prayed with a sense of urgency for those who could not help themselves. He saw that his prayers were not just a form of devotion, they were a lifeline for souls in purgatory, trapped between the earthly and divine realms. But the most astonishing thing about Padre Pio's intercession was that he could see the effects of his prayers. Many of us offer prayers for the deceased without any visible sign that they've been heard. We do so in faith, trusting that God, in His mercy, will receive them. But Padre Pio was granted the unique gift of seeing the fruits of his intercession. He witnessed firsthand the moment when a soul was liberated from suffering and entered into the light of heaven, all because of a prayer he had offered in their name. One of the most moving accounts of Padre Pio's gift of intercession took place during a quiet evening in the chapel. As he knelt before the Blessed Sacrament, offering his prayers, he was suddenly filled with deep emotion. His face, which had always been serene, became pale, and his eyes welled with tears. He looked up, as though seeing someone in the corner of the chapel, someone no one else could see. The friar, noticing his distress, gently approached him and asked what he had seen. With a voice full of both awe and reverence, Padre Pio replied, "I saw a soul from purgatory, one who came to thank me for a prayer I offered many years ago." He continued, explaining that this soul had been suffering, caught in the agonizing, purifying process of purgatory. Yet, because of a single Hail Mary Padre Pio had offered in passing, a simple prayer whispered on an impulse of charity, the soul was granted release. It was as if that one prayer, so small and seemingly insignificant, had been the key to unlocking heaven's mercy for that soul. This is a striking reminder of the profound effect that even the smallest acts of prayer can have on the eternal journey of others. A single prayer, uttered with love and faith, can move mountains in the spiritual realm. Just as Padre Pio's simple prayer brought relief to a suffering soul, so too can our prayers serve as a vehicle of mercy, transforming the lives of those in purgatory. It's important to remember that Padre Pio didn't consider his prayers for the dead as a one-time act. For him, intercessory prayer was a lifelong vocation. He understood that the souls of the dead were not isolated from the living, but remained connected through the communion of saints. He believed that by praying for the dead, we were not just fulfilling a duty, we were offering an act of love, a profound bond that transcended time and space. We may not always see the results of our prayers, but that doesn't diminish their power. Every time we pray for the souls in purgatory, every time we offer a Hail Mary, an Our Father, or any prayer on behalf of the deceased, we are joining in God's redemptive work. We are becoming co-laborers with Christ, working together to bring souls into the light of eternal life. One thing Padre Pio made abundantly clear was that it wasn't the words of the prayer that held the greatest power, but the love and intention behind them. A prayer said with a sincere heart, even if it's simple, holds infinite worth. Padre Pio lived this truth every day, offering his heart to God and to the souls in need. His commitment to this spiritual duty was unwavering, and the results were extraordinary. He saw how each prayer had a ripple effect, sending waves of grace and mercy into the world, touching lives, both living and dead. So, how can we apply Padre Pio's example to our own lives? First, we must remember that our prayers are never wasted. They are never lost. Whether for a loved one who has passed away or for someone we've never met, our prayers have eternal significance. We might never witness the immediate results of our prayers, but just as Padre Pio trusted in the unseen work of God, we too must trust that God is working through our prayers, even when we cannot see it. Padre Pio's life was a continuous offering to God and to others. He offered his prayers, his suffering, his very life, for the souls in need. It wasn't just an abstract concept for him, it was his lived reality. Every soul he encountered, whether in the confessional, in prayer, or in his visions, was a soul in need of God's mercy. And Padre Pio, through his deep devotion, became a channel of that mercy. Now, let's think about our own lives. How often do we pray for the souls of the departed? Do we understand the power of our prayers? Do we realize that every time we pray for someone who has passed, we are participating in the great work of salvation? Just as Padre Pio's prayers brought comfort to suffering souls, so too can ours. Every prayer we offer is an act of love, a testament to the power of faith. It's easy to overlook the impact of our words, but Padre Pio showed us that no prayer is too small, no prayer is insignificant. Even the simplest prayer, offered with the right intention, can change the course of a soul's journey. As you go about your day, remember Padre Pio's example. Take a moment to pray for the souls of the deceased, whether they are people you knew personally or souls you may never meet. Your prayer could be the one that brings them into the light of heaven. It's a powerful thought, and one that should inspire us to never take our prayers for granted. In a world that often feels disconnected from the eternal, Padre Pio's life offers us a glimpse into the profound impact that prayer can have on the soul. We may not always understand how it works, but we know that through our prayers, we are participating in a divine mystery that transcends time, space, and even death. As we reflect on Padre Pio's life and his unwavering commitment to praying for souls in purgatory, we start to see a bigger picture. Prayer isn't just a personal act, but an act that connects us to the unseen world of grace. Padre Pio saw things that most of us will never see in this lifetime, and through his eyes, we catch a glimpse of a truth that is often overlooked. Every prayer, no matter how small, has the potential to change the course of eternity. One of the most profound insights Padre Pio shared with us was the concept of intercession, the act of praying on behalf of others, particularly the souls of the departed. When we pray for the dead, we are not just offering empty words. We are participating in the ongoing work of salvation. We become co-workers with God, helping to bring souls into His eternal presence. But why is intercessory prayer so powerful? Why does it hold such significance in the spiritual realm? Padre Pio, who had a deep understanding of the mysteries of the faith, explained that prayer has the power to transcend the boundaries of time. When we pray for someone, we are entering into a divine exchange, a spiritual transaction that reaches far beyond our immediate circumstances. Our prayers are not limited by space or time. They reach into the very heart of God and can bring about transformation, healing, and mercy for the souls in need. Padre Pio's life was a testament to this truth. He knew that every prayer he said, whether it was for a soul in purgatory or for someone still living, was part of a much larger divine plan. Through his prayers, he saw how the power of God's mercy flowed into the lives of others, offering relief to those in purgatory and drawing them closer to God. One of the most striking aspects of Padre Pio's intercessory prayers was his ability to see the spiritual condition of the souls for whom he prayed. He didn't just pray for souls blindly, he saw them. He saw their suffering, their longing for God, and their desperate need for mercy. This deep spiritual insight allowed him to pray with a level of compassion and urgency that most of us can hardly fathom. In one of his most famous encounters, Padre Pio described seeing a soul in purgatory, overwhelmed with gratitude for the prayers offered on its behalf. The soul, he said, came to him with tears of joy, thanking him for the prayer he had said many years ago, a prayer offered without any thought or expectation, simply out of charity. This moment revealed the profound impact that a simple prayer can have in the spiritual realm, and how even the smallest act of intercession can release a soul from the suffering of purgatory and bring them into the light of heaven. This is the essence of intercessory prayer. It's not about us, it's about others. It's about offering our prayers as a gift to God on behalf of those who need it the most. When we pray for someone, we are essentially becoming a vessel for God's mercy. We are making ourselves available to be part of His divine work, helping to bring healing and salvation to the souls who are in need. Padre Pio's teachings remind us that we are all connected, not only with those who are still living, but also with those who have passed on. Our prayers for the dead are a bridge that connects the living with the deceased, the earthly realm with the eternal. And through these prayers, we play a vital role in the spiritual economy of salvation. We may never see the results of our prayers in this life, but that doesn't diminish their power. Just as Padre Pio trusted that his prayers were making a difference, we too must trust that our prayers, no matter how simple or brief, are part of something much larger than ourselves. Another beautiful aspect of Padre Pio's life was his understanding of the importance of suffering. He knew that prayer was not just about asking God for favors or interceding for others in times of need. It was also about offering our own sufferings as a form of prayer. Padre Pio's life was marked by physical suffering, but he never saw it as a burden. Instead, he offered it up to God, using his suffering as a means to pray for others. He believed that every moment of pain could be transformed into an act of love, an act of charity for those in need. This is a powerful lesson for all of us. In our own lives, we will undoubtedly face challenges and sufferings, whether it be physical pain, emotional distress, or spiritual struggles. But like Padre Pio, we can choose to offer these moments of difficulty as prayers. We can unite our suffering with Christ's suffering, using it as a means to intercede for others. Our struggles, no matter how small, can become powerful prayers when we offer them to God with love and faith. Padre Pio once said, "The prayer of a suffering soul is more powerful than any other." This speaks to the depth of his understanding of how God works through our pain. When we unite our suffering with Christ's, we are participating in the redemptive work of salvation. Our pain, when offered to God, becomes a prayer that transcends our own limitations and reaches into the eternal realm. Think about the people in your life who are suffering. Perhaps they are living with illness, grief, or other struggles. You may not always know how to help them, but one of the most powerful things you can do for them is to offer your prayers. And if you find yourself suffering in any way, remember that your pain is not in vain. It is a powerful prayer for others. Like Padre Pio, we are all called to offer our suffering as a prayer, joining with Christ in his work of redemption. As we continue to reflect on the life of Padre Pio, we are reminded of the importance of living a life of constant prayer and intercession. His life wasn't just about praying when it was convenient or when he felt like it. It was about living in constant communion with God, offering every moment of his life as a prayer. Whether he was walking, working, or suffering, Padre Pio saw every moment as an opportunity to pray, not just for himself, but for the souls of others. In our own lives, we can do the same. We can make prayer a constant part of our daily routine, offering every action and every moment to God. We don't have to be in church or on our knees to pray. We can pray wherever we are, in whatever circumstances we find ourselves. Just as Padre Pio prayed while walking, working, and even in the midst of suffering, we too can make our lives a continuous offering of prayer. If this story has inspired you, share it with someone who may need a reminder of the power of prayer. Let them know that their prayers matter, that even the smallest prayer, offered with love and faith, has the power to change everything. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories that will deepen your faith and encourage you to live a life of prayer and intercession.